hostages, guns, on up on attempted murder charges. I don't know what this world's coming to.
I think we're all going to sleep a lot better tonight now that she's home free.
Speaking of home, I gotta go home. Charlene's going to the Quartermain party tonight, and BJ's gonna babysit with me.
Lucky you.
Yeah, what's a man's life without a woman in it, even one that's two?
Well, perfect age for partners of the opposite sex. At least with kids, you know where you stand.
Well, see you later.
Okay, love, bye. Love to Barbara Jean.
Mine
I will.
too.
Good night. Hey, the man of the hour. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I really don't deserve it, actually. I just didn't mount much of a defense. I sort of laid back, waiting for a miracle to happen, and Robert and company thoughtfully came up with one at the last minute.
Well, it worked. Are you gonna stay around here?
I actually don't know what my plans are right now.
Well, just remember that plans can change, and sometimes people can't. See ya.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm gone too.
Oh, come on, honey, what's your hurry?
It's getting crowded in here, buddy.
Oh.
5 minutes.
To do what?
Apologize and set the record straight.
The record's pretty lousy, but I'll listen to the apology.
I don't quite know where to begin.
I'm sorry is the usual place.
I am. Bobby, I'm very sorry. I had no right to say the things I did last night. I was so bent out of shape. Lucy came to me with some documented proof that you and Gregory Howard were having this affair, a married man.
How can you believe a word that witch says?
What about it, Bobby? I'm sorry, but I have to know. Are you having an affair with Howard?
What if I were?
I have a confession from Dino, and I intend to charge Demetra as the accomplice.
Brilliant. I want to hear every word of this.
All right? It all started when I came up with some samples of hair in the drawer where you kept your gun. I decided to send this to a lab in New York that specializes in DNA work, together with samples of both of your quaffs and Julian's.
Oh, yeah?
The results proved that a man had replaced the gun in the drawer, but it wasn't you and it wasn't Julian. That set me off on Dino's trail.
Oh, what then?
Well, we had a partial ID from a nurse, but later on I got confirmation from one of my own people. However, the real kicker was this old bag lady that helped me make the suspect. The descriptions fit Demetra. So I did a bit of checking into her background. 30 years ago, she disappeared out of Victor's life for a period of 7 months and gave birth to a son.
Dino?
The news was kept from Victor because at the time he was still married, and she feared for the boy's life.
I don't blame her. So who brought him up?
An aunt down in Florida. She, of course, made frequent visits down there until the kid got older. Then she decided to make use of the fact that Victor had lost both his sons, and so she came up with this plan to eliminate Olivia.
So she could then produce Dino as Victor's only surviving son?
Oh, and he could take over the family business.
And she and Victor could walk off into the sunset and live happily ever after.
The perfect crime.
She also encouraged Dino to become a part of the Carter mob as her spy until she was ready to make her move.
So when Dino became Olivia's ally...
Well, it probably couldn't have worked out better, even if she planned it herself.
But Julian showing up could have spoken that way.
Only somewhat. You got to realize that he never threatened Demetra. I mean, because he wanted no part of the mob. Her object all along was to get rid of Olivia. Unfortunately for her, Olivia had made countless enemies along the way, you two included.
Yeah, her obsession with Duke was perfect.
Exactly.
So Demetra set me up.
Only after the fact. What you didn't know was that when you went to Olivia's to kill her, Dino was already there, and he was hoping that you'd do his dirty work for him.
I nearly did. What if Lucy's allegations were true? What if I were having an affair with Gregory Howard?
What do you want me to say? Congratulations?
I want you to be honest with me. Tell me how you really feel.
All right. I'm hurt and angry and jealous and confused.
Why confused?
I can't believe you would so easily give yourself to another man.
How dare you?
Particularly when we're so close to reconciling, Bobby, please. I forgive you. Come back with me. Come to Uruguay,
That is
please.
about the most condescending, pompous, humiliating speech I've ever heard. Keep your damn forgiveness. I didn't ask for it, and I don't want it. And as for starting over, I've already done that without you. And I don't see any reason to change it now. Goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye. Bobby, don't leave. Bobby!
Now, luckily for you, Julian's pounding on Olivia's door distracted you. It gave Olivia the chance she needed.
She grabbed the gun and pushed me outside.
That's when the fun started. Dino was waiting for Olivia in her bedroom. He was wearing an outfit identical to his mother's. Now, when Olivia turned back, shutting the door in your face, he stepped out of the shadows, pointed the gun at her.
No, no!
She never had a chance.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect alibi for Dino, isn't it? Dressed like Dimitra, and she's downstairs at the party, and if anybody sees him, they think it's a woman.
That's exactly the way it happened, too.
But if Cheryl and Julian were on the balcony, then I don't understand why didn't they see Dina?
Well, as they told us, the drapes were partially closed. All they could see was Olivia. And then, of course, Julian deflected Cheryl's shots, and they took off down the fire step, so they didn't know whether they'd hit her or Anna had. Dino, he thought fast. He stepped in, switched the guns, hoping to incriminate you. Then he took off.
And that's who the bag lady saw sneaking out of the hotel.
Right. Dino went straight to Anna's, replaced the gun in her drawer. Unbeknownst to him, though, he deposited a few sequins off this duplicate of Dimitra's purse that he carried. I've got to tell you, those sequins screwed me up for the longest period of time. Because when checking Dimitra's purse, there were none missing. They almost threw in the towel at that point. It was then that I started to suspect Dino, and I had his place searched. And guess what I found? The purse he carried. There's missing sequins on it, traces of gun oil, and there was a sample of his hair there as well. When the lab gave me a matchup, I knew he had a boy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I was a tad too late. I sent the NYPD around to pick him up, and they then informed me he'd taken off for Port Charles, probably to snuff out Julian and Cheryl. The rest you know.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Pleasure's all mine.
You ready to go home?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry for all the screaming and shouting earlier on.
Just look after two very special people in my life. Great.
See you, Billy.
Well, lad, I have a bit of a thirst, you know. Yeah. Let's go somewhere sleazy and get cropped. On you, of course.
Of course.
Weak like foot. More like a geek.
What's that, Edward?
Oh, I was taking a peek at the decorations.
Oh, they're absolutely splendid. And so, incidentally, are you?
Where's Ariel?
Oh, she's upstairs with Lila. Your wife is keeping mine occupied till the party begins. I think the guests should be arriving at any moment now.
Yeah, I'm getting too old for this kind of foolishness, but my darling wife, who has the annoying habit of getting younger every year, insists that I put on this ridiculous outfit to help get in the spirit of things.
Well, it suits you. Perhaps in another life you really were a Greek fisherman.
Well, I better have owned the entire fleet. Speaking of business, I've been thinking about this little China trade deal of yours. How do you expect it to work?
Well, it's fairly simple. Basically, I'm counting on the overwhelming gratitude to the Chinese government for the return of the Dragon Boat, and I fully expect to come out of the transaction with a trade agreement.
Yeah? What sort of trade agreement?
Well, an exclusive one, but any sort will be lucrative. Oil, steel concessions, a fast food franchise, and whichever way you cut it, it's bound to add up to quite a tidy sum.
Yeah, well, normally such an arrangement wouldn't agree with me. I mean, I believe in keeping my money in the good old U.S. of A. But, as you say, we are practically family. So I suppose I could be induced to offer some financial aid, a little business transaction, provided you're interested, of course.
Well, I appreciate the thought, Edward, and much as I'd like to do business with you, I should tell you that I'm pretty well set up right now. But you know how business is, and I'll certainly keep you in mind.
Bring on the ouzo.
Ah.
Where are Monica and Alan?
No, they're upstairs getting dressed. They were late getting home from the hospital.
This was just delivered, sir.
Oh, thank you, Jennings. I wonder what this is. Well, I suppose it's probably a gift for Ariel. Curiously enough, it's addressed to me. Well.
Jennings, it's so nice to see you. Don't you look so cute? Oh, look at this place. It's just wonderful. Oh, hi there. Happy birthday, sugar. I brought this for you.
Oh, thank you.
I had no idea. No, I hope we're not too early.
You're right on time, and here's the guest of honor. Happy birthday, Ariel.
Oh,
Yes. Happy birthday, Ariel.
thank you. I'm so glad you could come.
Surprise!
What have you done?
This is not what you expected, is it?
No, I expected a quiet family dinner.
Oh, no, not tonight. Tonight we have a Greek festival in honor of your birthday.
Oh,
After you.
isn't it great? Oh, you look so cute. That dress is just adorable.
Thanks. What do you think?
Oh, I cannot believe my eyes.
Oh, Eddie.
This brings back such memories for me. Oh, and look at all these presents.
Yes,
I
actually,
want to open them.
I'm afraid I already opened one, which, curiously enough, was addressed to me.
Who's it from?
Didn't say, no card on it.
Well, let's see what it is. What?
It looks like a gold-plated set of dominoes.
Oh, no.
Tonight, it's a holiday treat that's meant to be shared. Gather round for a Muppet Family Christmas. Then is it Nightmares of Housework or Fairy Tale Time on Mr. Belvedere. After, when the girls sneak out, the coach freaks out on Just the 10 of Us.
This is Sharon Larkin.
And Charles Nixon.
They're the most unlikely twins you'll ever meet. Next week, Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Plus Kiefer Sutherland, George Burns, and Sybil Shepherd on Good Morning America.